looking at the African countries, he has actually identified Ghana as one of the important trading partner in Africa.
As far as the economy is concerned, I'd like to underline that Ghana is an important trading partner for Germany in sub-Saharan Africa.
Looking at the hug from His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and then His Excellency Frank Walter, you could tell that the relation is so beautiful. He briefed him thoroughly on Ghana's current economic situation and the resetting Ghana agenda, how it is going to.
This visit marks a significant milestone in the long-standing and exemplary relations between our two nations and reflects our shared commitment to deepening cooperation, friendship, and solidarity for the mutual benefit of our people. During our extensive bilateral discussions this morning, President Steinmeier and I reviewed the current state of Ghana-Germany relations.
He needs to, affirm it. He needs to build that connection. He needs to prove it that when you come on board, it's going to be, you are safe.
I briefed President Steinmeier thoroughly on Ghana's current economic situation and our resetting Ghana agenda, particularly within the framework of the African Continental Free Trade Area, which is headquartered here in Accra. The African Continental Free Trade Area offers unparalleled opportunities for German and other businesses to enter a market of over 1.3 billion population across the continent, with Ghana positioned as the strategic gateway and partner.
One of the relationships we have with German, most of the cooking pots we have here in Ghana is from German. We have a very good relations with Germany, and they are coming on board in terms of investment, building, that kind of skills development, digital transformation, and all that. I think this is something we need to pitch in.
I wish President Steinmeier and his delegation safe travels as they continue their visit, including engagements with young IT specialists in Accra and a visit to our Ashanti region tomorrow.
We need not to take other people out. He'll be visiting the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park tomorrow. And so it will be beautiful from the Government's Palace to the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. It's not far at all. It will be beautiful that we have him there at the Government Palace. We may trash this or take it lightly, but it is very, very important.
May God bless Ghana. May God bless Germany.
As reported in our previous video, that there's going to be a state visit by the German President, His Excellency Frank Walter. Yesterday, he successfully landed in Ghana and was welcomed by the Foreign Affairs Minister, Honorable Sam Okujeto Ablakwa. And officially today, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama welcomed him at the Jubilee House, where he had a full military guard inspection. And it was so beautiful to watch, seeing the military honor him, welcome him, and then we had the traditional display from the Ghana tradition. It was so beautiful to watch, and looking at the hug from His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and then His Excellency Frank Walter, you could tell that the relation is so beautiful. According to history, we've had a beautiful relation with the Germans. Even, like I said, history tells us that the evangelical press we have today was actually from the German. They introduced that here in the Ewe land. And so, as for the Germans, we've had a very good relationship with them. And like I said, looking at the hug and how His Excellency John Dramani Mahama welcomed him, you could tell that the relationship is really beautiful. And this is very, very, very important as far as the Ghana's diplomatic relation is concerned. And so a lot is going to go on. And so, like I reported to you in a previous video, there's going to be a bilateral talk where we had, before that, both of them had a closed door discussion before coming to the bilateral talk. And we had beautiful speeches from both of them. And His Excellency, let me start with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, where he highlighted key areas for Ghana and Germany cooperation, which is the green industrialization, digital transformation, and skills development. Also, he briefed him thoroughly on Ghana's current economic situation and the resetting Ghana agenda, how it is going to help the whole country. And then he also stated how the whole thing is bringing out a tangible progress, talking of the reset Ghana agenda and then the economic situation, everything they are putting in place to make it improve. He spoke about it, that they are having a tangible progress on this agenda, and the early signs are very promising.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Guten Tag, meine Damen und Herren.
It is with great pleasure and deep appreciation that I stand before you alongside His Excellency Frank Walter Steinmeier, President of the Federal Republic of Germany, at the conclusion of our bilateral discussions as part of his 3-day state visit to Ghana. This visit marks a significant milestone in the long-standing and exemplary relations between our two nations and reflects our shared commitment to deepening cooperation, friendship, and solidarity for the mutual benefit of our people. Our relationship spans several centuries, and since the formal establishment of diplomatic relations in 1957, year of Ghana's independence, it has grown steadily and significantly. Germany has remained a steadfast and reliable partner, supporting Ghana's development through technical and financial cooperation in key sectors such as health, education, vocational and technical training, renewable energy, good governance, and peacekeeping. These interventions have contributed immensely to our institutional development, youth empowerment, and sustainable growth. During our extensive bilateral discussions this morning, President Steinmeier and I reviewed the current state of Ghana-Germany relations with great satisfaction, and we identified new and expanded pathways for our collaboration. We reaffirmed the strong bonds of friendship between our two countries And these bonds are rooted in mutual respect, shared democratic values, human rights, the rule of law, and a common vision for peace, prosperity, and sustainable development. I briefed President Steinmeier thoroughly on Ghana's current economic situation and our Resetting Ghana agenda, which aims to restore macroeconomic stability, foster inclusive and sustainable growth, and tackle corruption, improve public financial management, and rebuild investor confidence in our economy. And I'm pleased to report that we're making tangible progress on this agenda, and the early signs are promising.
And if you follow this channel carefully, you know the early signs we are talking about, or you know the early signs that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is talking about. We have spoken about a lot here on this channel. And he also reaffirmed Ghana's strong dedication to creating an enabling environment to attract more German private sector investment, particularly within the framework of African Continental Free Trade Area.
I reaffirmed Ghana's strong dedication to creating an enabling environment to attract more German private sector investment, particularly within the framework of the African Continental Free Trade Area, which is headquartered here in Accra. The African Continental Free Trade Area offers unparalleled opportunities for German and other businesses to enter a market of over 1.3 billion population across the continent, with Ghana positioned as the strategic gateway and partner. Our discussions also focused on Germany's forward-looking Africa strategy under the Federal Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development, which prioritizes sustainability, decent employment, gender equality, climate resilience, and peace and security. We've identified specific opportunities for stronger collaboration in renewable energy, green industrialization, digital transformation, and skills development. These sectors are crucial to Ghana's future, and they align with global sustainability objectives. I especially welcome the ongoing productive cooperation between Ghana's Ministry of Labour, Jobs and Employment, and several leading German companies to strengthen technical and vocational education and training for our young people. Both sides expressed optimism about the upcoming agreement on labour mobility, which will enable safe, respectful, and well-structured employment opportunities for young Ghanaian professionals in Germany, while addressing skills shortages in key German sectors. Ladies and gentlemen, on regional and international topics, President Steinmeier and I had open and constructive discussions on peace and security in West Africa, particularly regarding the growing threats of terrorism, violent extremism, and political instability in the Sahel region. I briefed the President on Ghana's proactive diplomatic engagement to foster dialogue and rebuild trust and strengthen cooperation amongst our neighbors, including my recent appointment of a special envoy to the Alliance of Sahelian States to promote regional stability, cohesion, and integration. I wish to commend Germany's steadfast and principled support for regional peace and development in our sub-region. We also reviewed our strong cooperation in international peacekeeping. Ghana sincerely appreciates Germany's leadership in hosting the 2025 United Nations Peacekeeping Ministerial in Berlin, which promoted key reforms in global peacekeeping operations. Ghana, which had the honor of hosting the 2023 edition in Accra, looks forward to further collaboration to build institutional capacities, conduct joint training exercises, and leverage technology and innovation to address the emerging threats, including cyber insecurity and climate-related conflicts. Ghana is deeply concerned about recent actions that jeopardize the rule-based international order, especially the global trade system that has supported decades of prosperity and development around the world. The dismantling of established multilateral frameworks and the rise of unilateral protectionism threaten to plunge the world into economic instability, greater inequality and conflict. I invite Germany to share Ghana's strong commitment to multilateralism, the United Nations system, the World Trade Organization, and international law. We will urge all nations to resist the lure of economic nationalism and to collaborate in reforming, not dismantling, the institutions that unite us as a globe. The challenges of our era, climate change, pandemics, terrorism, migration, and poverty cannot be tackled by any one nation alone. They require our collective action, dialogue, and compromises. Regarding Africa's representation in global governance, Ghana continues its long-standing and legitimate demand for Africa's permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council. Africa, with 54 countries and over 1.4 billion people, remains the only inhabited continent in this world without a permanent representation on the world's most influential decision-making body. This historical injustice must be corrected. The African Union's Ezulwini Consensus and the CERT Declaration clearly express Africa's stance. The continent demands at least 2 permanent seats with veto power, along with additional non-permanent seats. Germany has consistently supported UN Security Council reform and Africa's rightful place at the table. I wish to commend President Steinmeier and the German government for this principled stand, and Ghana calls on all nations to move beyond rhetoric and take action to make the Security Council more representative, democratic, and legitimate. Ladies and gentlemen, the visit of President Steinmeier has been substantive and deeply symbolic. It reaffirms our shared aspirations for a renewed and elevated partnership between our countries. This is not just a partnership of governments, but increasingly one involving our private sector, civil society groups, youth researchers, and cultural institutions. The obstacles we face are significant, but so is our resolve and determination. In President Steinmeier, Ghana has found not just a partner, but a friend who recognizes that Africa's development is crucial to global peace and prosperity, and that genuine partnership must be based on equality, mutual respect, and shared benefits. On behalf of the government and people of Ghana, I extend our heartfelt appreciation and warmest gratitude to His Excellency Steinmeier, to his distinguished delegation, and the people of the Federal Republic of Germany for the honor of this visit and for Germany's enduring friendship and solidarity with Ghana and Africa. I wish President Steinmeier and his delegation safe travels as they continue their visit, including engagements with young IT specialists in Accra and a visit to our Ashanti region tomorrow. May God bless Ghana, may God bless Germany, may God bless the partnership between our two great nations. I thank you.
As His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has always announced that they are in for foreign investors, he needs to, affirm it. He needs to build that connection. He needs to prove it that when you come on board, it's going to be, you are safe. That's the thing, yeah. And moving away from His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, I will go to briefly His Excellency Frank Walter. He also give us how Germany values Ghana as a key trading partner in Africa. Looking at the African countries, he has actually identified Ghana as one of the important trading partner in Africa.
As far as the economy is concerned, I'd like to underline that Ghana is an important trading partner for Germany in sub-Saharan Africa, one of the regions in the world that shows the very strong growth. Our trade balance is almost balanced, and the volume has increased last year by more than a quarter to 626 million euro. That is almost 8.3 billion CDs. we want to and can, as we agreed, to further expand the trade and benefit of the investment potential, of which I think that we haven't fully tapped it yet. This is why I invited representatives of important German companies to accompany me.
No doubt at all. And so he has pledged 65 million euros to support Ghana's development. This is good news.
After this very friendly and constructive exchange that we've just concluded, I look forward to more points on my agenda, on my program during this visit to Accra, and then also later when I visit the capital of Ashanti, Kumasi, that is. President, you rightly pointed out that Ghana and Germany are linked and have been linked by a long-standing close partnership and friendship. To be honest, basically reaching back to the day that the country became independent. We are also celebrating the 50th anniversary of development cooperation between Ghana and Germany. And together we're working to lay the foundation for a sustainable economic development that will benefit Ghana, but I hasten to add it will also benefit Germany. And I'm happy to say that today we've also been able to bring good news, good tidings, that of course pending on the approval of the German Parliament, the Bundestag that is, Germany will again commit more than 65 million euro to Ghana in the framework of our development cooperation, which equals more than 823 million Ghana CD. The details will be negotiated before the end of this month.
When I reported to you in our previous video that His Excellency Frank Walter was here before, somewhere in the year 2017, there was a pledge. And I would come back in our next video. I'm going to search on what that pledge was used for. Someone will say that that is in the past. No, it is not in the past. We still need to know what they use that money for. Because if you listen to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama carefully, most of the times any money that comes from other governments to Ghana, he tells us what he uses it for. One like the one from President Jinping, the president of China, he told us what he was going to use that money for, which is going into the Damango, those two educational projects over there. And so we need to know what that money was used for. And so in our next video, I'll come back with that particular, and so stay tuned on that. Now, looking at this visit as basically to improve development in both countries. I mean, build the relationship we already have. Now, news that have been, that we've heard over the weekend from FGA is that they have warned us on our popular cooking pot here in Ghana, which is that they're saying that it is very dangerous, and they are calling for a ban of that particular cooking pot. They are saying that they have noticed that it has a high level of lead in there, and so they are calling for a ban. Now, when we look at one of the relationship we have with German, most of the cooking pots we have here in Ghana is from Germany. And if you and I will agree that if you are going to the market to buy a cooking pot, you say, oh, maybe cooking pot are air papa, German papa, how do you call it? Cooking pot are air papa, you go for a German made. And so if you ask me, this is something we should look at. A lot of people are saying, we should ban the Deseno and we should go for what? If His Excellency Frank Walter will be visiting a vocational or technical, I think we did something about it in our previous video, that he'll be visiting Kumasi. If we could channel our whole idea when it comes to the investment, if we can get investors that can come on board for us to get a proper cooking pot industry here in Ghana, I think it will go a long way to help all of us. Because if our popular that is saying is now, FDA is calling for a ban on that is saying, now, which one, if we are talking about Ghana made, because we are always preaching about using our own. Now, our own, they are calling for a ban because it looks like people who are producing this that is saying today do not have a lot of knowledge in producing this that is saying, and so they add a lot of lead in producing this that is saying. And so if we have a very good relations with Germany, and they are coming on board in terms of investments, building that kind of skills development, digital transformation and all that, I think this is something we need to pitch in, especially when this news is circulating at this point. And I think it will go a long way to help. That is just my 1 cent on this particular issue. Now, another thing I would want to touch on is about, I spoke about it in our previous video when I reported that His Excellency Frank Walter is coming to Ghana, where I spoke about it that he will be visiting Kumasi and will be paying a courtesy call to Asante Hene. When we made that video, I think a lot of people are very much interested in paying respect to other chiefs in Ghana. I'm very sure that because he is visiting Kumasi, that is why he would pay that courtesy call to Asante Hene. Now, the call again is that why is he not visiting Gamanche too? Because looking at the beautiful traditional display that went on there, it would be beautiful to have him in the palace of Gamanche too. This is to respect the part of chieftaincy in the constitution. We need not to take other people out. He'll be visiting the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park tomorrow. And so it will be beautiful from the Gamanche's palace to the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. It's not far at all. It will be beautiful that we have him too there at the Gamanche Palace. We may trash this or take it lightly, but it is very, very important. Humble plea. This is just a humble plea. Okay, I think I have addressed a lot about his coming to Ghana. We are so grateful to have him here, and hopefully he'll take a lot more good things about Ghana to Germany. And so let us stay glued to this channel. I'll come your way again with other things that will be going on as far as the visits to Ghana is concerned. I'll come your way again and then share every news with you. And so stay tuned. Don't forget, we are clocking it, and I will see you in our next video. Bye-bye.